What do consultants do? Today we're going to talk a little bit about what consultants do, but really more about the benefit of a consultant. And I want to start out with how I think they get a bad rap. I've heard people say, I don't see the benefit of getting a consultant. They're just going to give us more work to do. They come in, they give you a big plan and tell you what to do, but you still have to do it. And some people don't see the benefit in that. Well, there's a little bit of a mindset perspective there that is part of the problem. And we're going to talk about that, but first let me introduce myself. I'm Valerie Pugsley. I study marketing and mindset, and I teach service providers and small business owners what's the next best piece for them to implement in their business. I do that through inspired strategic solutions, helping them to connect the pieces so that they can maximize their effort. Now, your time is valuable and so is mine, so let's get to it. When somebody talks about, well, what do I get? They're coming at it from a commodity mindset. So really the first thing here when thinking of a consultant is you have to get away from the commodity mindset and understand the value mindset. So when you're looking at it from a commodity, you want to come away with something and you want the time to be, okay, I should leave and I should get something in return. Well, you do get something in return, but it's not the way that typically you're thinking about it, and so you don't see the value. Consultants spend a lot of time depending on what industry you're in. So for me in the marketing industry and dealing with social media, it is constantly changing. So there's constant learning going on and on all the time, just like a physician where there's new technologies and new ways of handling things. So some of what you're paying for is that learning that they're continuing to do on an ongoing basis while you're busy doing your business. Another thing that you're paying for is a little bit of objectivity. There are a lot of experts or vendors out there who have a specialty, and that's great. When I have a heart problem, I want a heart surgeon. I don't want a general practitioner, right? But sometimes it takes the general practitioner to see that there's a problem with the heart and then refer you to the heart surgeon. And even within the heart surgeons, there are several different kinds, and depending on what your budget, what you can afford, right? But you're going to want the best that your budget can afford with that, or that your insurance will provide. So that's kind of like where the consultant comes into play. They can look at your business and your goals or whatever the situation is. So for me, since I'm helping service providers and small business owners, that's what I'm looking at. But I can find out, what is your goal? What is it you're looking, what do you want to accomplish? Now, what's your budget? What's your bandwidth? What availability do you have of resources and just skills within your own self? What's going to be the next best thing to implement for the goal that you're trying to achieve? And a lot of times there's things that you're already doing and all we need to do is just tweak a little bit and you're going to get a lot more return on your investment for what you're already doing. As an example, let me use websites because I deal with a lot of things online and social media and things. People think I build websites. Well, I have built my own websites. Actually, I don't build my websites. I have people build my websites, but I supervise that. But when you're going to build a website, what's the goal? What's the purpose? A lot of people just say, well, I just need a website. If that is your mentality and your goal, you're basically looking at an expensive business card. And what happens to a lot of business cards? In fact, I think I have a stack of them right here. I can show you. Right? They're just a stack of them on my desk. If that's all you want the website for, go for it. Doesn't really matter what you do. If, on the other hand, you want something that's not just pretty, but accomplishes a goal, and in my mind, I think the goal of most websites, one of the goals anyway, is for you to get the contact information so that you can continue on the conversation. Because most likely people aren't going to keep coming back to your website unless you're providing some kind of a value that they want to come back for. So getting the contact information is one of the goals. I think another goal of the website is to educate prospective clients so that they can get to know you better, in which case you're going to want to have some video on the website, and that you can answer a lot of the frequently asked questions. So those are some of the goals of a website. However, when you, the service provider or small business owner, go out there to build your own website or have somebody build your website, you're coming at it from a commodity perspective instead of a value perspective. What value is my website going to provide to the viewers? And you don't have a goal and objective. What goal do I want? And so you just hire somebody who will create a pretty website for you, but they're not going to put all these marketing aspects into it. So ideally, you want a web designer who knows not only how to make things pretty, but they understand marketing. But even still, they aren't going to produce the content for you unless that's an extra service that they do for you. And so this is where a consultant can come in and help you with the content to put on your website. Another situation that I'm thinking about, and it's a sad situation, but I think it happens often, is people will just go and hire the expert who came to their door and sold them their service. Now, I have no objection to experts because SEO may not be the best option for you, especially if you don't have other things in place, at least not right now, maybe later on down the line. But if I need SEO done, I am totally going to hire an expert. I do not want to do that by myself. Experts are fine, but is it the right expert for you right now? So an example that I have is somebody that I was speaking with, and I'd given them quite a bit of free consulting, free information, which that might have been the problem to begin with on my part, that they didn't get the value of what I was sharing with them. Anyway, they had limited funds and they had gotten a hold of funds, and so they were looking for somebody who was going to do it for them, and the do it for them was the social media is what they were going to do and some other things. So they'd found somebody who was going to do all this wonderful stuff for a great price, like $20 an hour, which is an amazing price. However, the person that was going to do the work was a student, which, okay, they understand the technical side. I don't know that they understand the marketing side. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Anyway, I advised this person to bring me on to the interview with them, but I'd given them a lot already, and at this point, it was going to cost them some money to do that. Well, they didn't want to spend the money. They went ahead and hired the person, and I spoke with them recently, and it didn't go well, and now they're out of money. Had they spent the $100 to have me on the interview, I think it was going to be like a half-hour interview. If they'd spent the $100 to have me on the interview, I could have advised them better on, one, whether to hire the person at all, or two, what exactly to hire them to do. Now, I don't know all of the details in this situation, but my guess is when this person was trying to do too much up front, they were trying to do a whole bunch of things all at once, and they weren't focusing on the most important things. And so they spent the money doing a bunch of everything, and it didn't work. So again, where is that value? Had they spent the money up front for something that they couldn't see, but just the expertise and value that I would have brought to the situation, I could have saved them money in the long end with whether hiring the person at all or hiring them on maybe a more limited basis to do one or two specific things instead of a whole bunch of everything. Also, I would have been able to know, is this person capable of coming up with what they need, or did they just know how to technically push buttons? Two different things. My guess, at $20 an hour, they probably knew how to technically push buttons, but they didn't know a lot about marketing or had a whole marketing plan or scheme in place, or know if this particular marketing strategy was the best one for this person to be using at this point in time in their business. So that's my guess what would happen. And again, if they'd hired the consultant beforehand, it would have saved them a lot of money. They'd probably be in a better place right now. Now, there are a lot of approaches out there. A lot of them work. But again, what's the best one for you depends on, one, your goal. What's your goal right now? Two, what's your mindset? Right? Depending on what your mindset is, it depends on how successful you're going to be at whatever you're endeavoring. So sometimes before we even take on a tactic, we have to first work on the mindset. Then what is your bandwidth and your budget, right? If you don't have a lot of budget, then we have to work with your bandwidth. What do you physically have capable? Maybe there's resources you have that you're just not aware of that you can get that would fit within a limited budget that you have. Just combining different resources could be very helpful. Even on a consultant basis, it could be helpful. Maybe you would pay the consultant and part of the time would be consulting, and maybe they would do a little bit of done for you as a part of that consulting. Just depends on what you work out. I hope that I've explained this just as a recap. Again, you need to look at a consultant not from a commodity perspective of, I'm going to get a this, a that, and a this, or so many hours of stuff done for me. You have to look at it at the value that the consultant brings. What information, knowledge, and experience do they bring to the plate that's going to be able to help you avoid some of these pitfalls, or even just help direct you and guide you to where the next best place is for you and which plate you should be spinning next. So if you want to save yourself some trouble down the line, if you want to make the best use of your resources, I highly encourage you to get a hold of a consultant, whether it's me or somebody else. If you think that I might be able to help you based on this video or other videos that you've seen on my channel, then down in the description below, I have 2 links for you. The first one is going to be for a why worksheet. Now that's only $7. But what that will do is by having you fill that out and complete that first before we meet, I'll be able to give you a lot more value in that first conversation. The second link is if you have all of that down and you know all of that, then you can just skip that and go to that second link. Either way, you'll get access to that second link. The second link is for a highly discounted half-hour consultation for me. And during that half hour, my goal is going to be find out, one, if we would be a good fit together. If not, I'll tell you what I think would be a good fit for you. But also during that half hour, I'm going to try and provide you a piece of value that you can take away that's going to be worth way more than the money that you spend for that half-hour consultation. If you do decide we're a good fit, whatever you paid for that half-hour consultation is going to be deducted from your first installment. But think of this as an investment. You're investing in you, you're investing in your plan. You're also investing in the people that you want to reach out to so that you can reach more of those people and have a greater impact and effect on the world. I would love to have you join me on this channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There are other links in the description down below, places that you can stay in contact with me online. I also have a free gift. If you get that, you'll also be on my list, and there's things that I share just with my list that I don't share anywhere else. Also, they get access to discounts and special offers that aren't offered in other places, and they get first access to things as well. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.